just so I know that you can see my screen. Once again, if you can see my screen, put number 1 in the chat so I know you can see the screen. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. All right, cool. So the first thing we're going to be doing today is going over how to use the Shift application, right? The first thing we are going to be going over today is how do we use the Shift application. It's really, really important, right? So I'm going to be walking everyone through something called 7 easy steps of making money, right? We're going to call this 7 easy steps of how to make money using the application. But what I want everyone to do, which is really, really important, is that we have over 36 people in this call, and I want every single person to be participating. Princess, absolutely, I'm recording the call as we are speaking, right? I am recording this call, Princess, as we are speaking. I'm recording this call. Okay, cool. So the first thing I'm going to want every single person to do is to log on to their Shift application, right? I want every single person to log on to their Shift application, and I'm going to be taking you through the 7 easy steps of how to make money, all right? The 7 simple, easy steps of how to make money using the Shift application. Okay, so once everyone has gone onto Shift application, what we're going to be doing, right, is 7 easy steps. So I want every single person to be writing the steps down as we go along. Step number 1 is really important, really, really vital, right? Is we have to identify the currency pair. Step number 1, very simple. We are identifying the currency pair we are using. Now, if you're absolutely new to trading, if you don't have a clue what trading is, you're going to ask Joseph, how do I know what a currency pair is? Or Joseph, how do I identify a currency pair? Very easy. The minute you log onto the application, you're going to see some letters, right? You're going to see some letters and flags. Those are currency pairs, right? Step number 1, very simple, is we are going to identify the currency pairs. The first currency pair we have is NZD-JPY, which you can see, right? Which is New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. That's all it is, New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen, right? What I want everyone to do is this. Once you've identified the currency pair, which is step number 1, you're then going to have to go to MetaTrader 4, right? So I want everyone to go into MetaTrader 4, and then we'll go into a demo account, right? For those that have not yet opened a demo account, for those that do not have a demo account, it depends if you're using an iPhone or Android, right? What you're going to be doing is you're going to log onto your MetaTrader 4 application. And then you're going to go to settings, right? Settings, it depends what phone you're using. It'll either be on your bottom right-hand corner or bottom left corner, depends if you're using the iPhone or the Android, right? You're going to go to settings. Once you go to settings, you're then gonna go to where it says new account, right? Then it's gonna give you the option of open a demo account. Or if you're live, you're gonna open a live account, but most of the people that are new, they're gonna be using a demo account for the first week or so, right? So you're gonna go to open a demo account, which is very simple. And it's gonna say enter company or server name, or you can use the one that they give you right away. But for demo accounts, I always use Hugo's Way, which is there already, or IC Markets. I use or Vantage, right? You can use different brokers for a demo account, right? So you'll pick any broker. And then you'll click on them. And then you'll fill in your name, your telephone number, and your email address, right? Because it's your demo account, you can actually put in fake information. Because you're using a demo account, you can actually put in fake information. And then make sure the leverage is 1 to 500, and deposit you can do 3,000, right? You can do 100,000, 500,000, it's completely up to you. And then you will simply press register, and it will take you to your demo account, right? So I've already done my demo account. So now we're gonna go back. Which broker? You can use any broker, Mikey, any broker. Literally, you can, if you want, where it says new account, open a demo account, you can literally use the first broker which they give you, which is MetaTrader. I always use Hugo's Way because they have most of the currency pairs on their demo account, right? They have cryptocurrencies, they have stocks, they have indices, normal fiat currencies, etc. So that's why I usually use Hugo's Way. But it's completely up to you. You can always use the first one, or you can always use a broker if you know of any brokers, right? So step number one, once again, is very, very simple. Step number one is the simplest thing you're going to do. You're simply identifying the currency pair. Yeah? So I want everyone to write down step number one, very simple, right? Step number, because we're going to be going through this after. Step number one is identify currency pair. Now, step number two is very, very, very important, right? Step number two, what we're doing, we're identifying type of trade, right? And later on today, I'm going to go through the different types of trade. So step number two, we are identifying the type of trade. What do I mean by that? As soon as you go into your application, you're going to see the currency pair, and you're going to see it says market execution. Market execution or instant execution simply means stop whatever you are doing and take the trade ASAP. I cannot stress that again. Market execution or instant execution simply means stop whatever you are doing and take this trade as soon as possible. Whether you're showering, whether you're eating, whether you're feeding your baby, stop whatever you're doing and take the trade as soon as possible, right? That is because market execution simply means the trade is being activated at the current market price, right? So market execution or instant execution simply means the trade is being activated at the current market price, right? So that's step number two. Very simple. You're going to stop whatever you're doing and you're going to take the trade ASAP. Now you're going to ask, Joseph, how do I take the trade? Good question. This is going to lead me to step number three. All right. Step number three, you're going to go to MT4 and find pair. All right. So everyone do it with me. So step number three, we're going to go to MetaTrader 4. All right. We're going to go to quotes. And we're going to find the pair we're looking for. So for this instant, let's just say we're looking for NSD JPY, right? So we're looking for NSD JPY. So we're going to go here and we're going to look for NSD, which is the New Zealand dollar, against the Japanese yen. And I cannot find it, right? I cannot find NSD JPY. No problem. What do? I click on the top right-hand corner, right? Where the plus sign is, that's where you're going to click, right? You're going to click on the plus sign. Whether you're using an Android or iPhone, you're going to click on the plus sign on the top right-hand corner. Once you click on that, you're going to then scroll the screen down to where it says search, right? So when you click on it, the screen will be like this at first, and then you're simply going to scroll it down to where it says search. And then we're going to type NSD. And the minute we type NSD, all the NSD currencies will show up. And then we're going to click the green plus button to add the currency pair we need. All right. Once you do that, you press cancel. You go back to quotes, and the currency pair you just added is always at the bottom. There we see NSD JPY, right? So step number three, go to MT4 and find currency pair. Very simple. Very, very simple. Now we're going to go to step 4, right? And I want everyone to really pay attention because step 4 has part A and B, right? Step 4 has part A and part B. I want to make sure every single person is taking notes as I'm going along. Because this is going to be a very, very quick introduction into Shift, and I'm going to show people the importance of modification, taking partial profits, etc. Right? So part A of step 4 is what is the type of trade? So we go back to shift. We go back to NSDJPY. And for those that have already taken this trade earlier on, as this trade was sent 3 hours ago, as we know, it has already hit take profit 1, right? So I'm just using this as an example. I'm simply using this as an example. Never ever take a trade that has already hit the first take profit, which I'll go on later on as well. Cool. So we know NSDJPY is a buy. How do we know it's a buy? Because underneath where it says NSDJPY, it says buy. Very, very simple, right? Likewise, if we was to look at GBP NZD, we would see that it's a sell. How do we know that? Underneath the currency pair, it says sell. Very, very simple, right? So part A is we're simply looking at the type of trade. So we know it is a buy, right? Now, part B of step 4 is lot size, right? And I'm going to explain to everyone what a lot size is. So what's going to happen is, sorry, I forgot. What we're going to do, right? So step 3, I forgot to mention, once you see the currency pair, you're going to click on it. If you're using an Android, once you've clicked on the currency pair, so you literally just press it once. If you're using an Android, it's going to say new order. If you're using an iPhone, it's going to say trade, right? So I forgot to add step 3. After you go MT4 and find the pair, you're going to click trade, right? You're going to click trade. If you're using an Android, you're going to click new order, right? So we're going to click trade, right? I forgot that part. Cool. So now we're going back to step 4, part B. Step 4, part B is really, really important. We're going to identify the lot size. Now, some people may ask me, Joseph, what is a lot size? How do I know what a lot size is? The minute you click trade or instant or mark, the minute you click trade or new order, underneath the currency pair, you're going to see where it says market execution or instant execution. Right? If you use an iPhone, it's going to say market execution. If you're using the Android, it's going to say instant execution. And then underneath that, you're going to see some letters, right? And I'm going to go through the basics of these letters. 0.01 simply means 10p every time the market moves up or down. So anytime the market moves up or down one time, you're going to gain or profit by 10p. 0.02 means 20p. 0.03, 30p. 0.04, 40p. 0.05, 50p. And for those that are asking, Joseph, what are you pressing? I'm pressing the button that says plus 0.01. I'm simply pressing the button that says plus 0.01 to make the lot size move, right? 0.06 means 60p. 0.07 means 70p, 0.08 means 80p, 0.09 means 90p, 0.10 now means £1. 0.11 means £1 10p, 0.12 means £1 20p, 0.13 means £1 30p, £1 40p, £1 50p, until we get to £2, right? And then we can start going up. So this is £2 a pip, £3 a pip, £4 a pip, £5 a pip, and a pip, P-I-P, for those that are new, simply means points in profit, right? That's what pip means. Pips means point in profit. So as a trader, we get paid by how many pips we catch, right? So you can go £6 a pip, £7 a pip, £8 a pip, £9 a pip, and then 1.00. We getting counting lesson today, boys. Like, you're not serious. Now, 1.00 simply means £10 every time the market goes up or down, right? So you'll be gaining or profiting by £10. Sorry, 1 minute, done the wrong one. That's all it means, right? And then you can go all the way up to £100 a pip, right? So I always advise every single person on your demo account, always use 0.10, which is simply £1 or $1 every time the market goes up or down once, right? So it'll be easy for you to calculate how much pips you was able to catch, right? Cool. So that was step 4. That was step 4, part B, right? Lot size. Now, step 5 is very, very simple. We're going to open up the trade and we're going to see it says take profit and stop loss, right? Many people get scared to go into trading. Why? Because they think they're going to lose all their money, which should never happen. Why? Because a stop loss is used for you to secure your money in case the trade goes that way around. So step 5 is very, very simple. You're going to simply copy the stop loss. That's all we're doing. The stop loss is 69.85. If you're using an Android, it won't say stop loss. What you're going to see is 2 red lines. Once again, if you're using an Android, it's not going to say stop loss. What you're going to see is 2 red lines, right? Then we go back to shift. Step 6, very, very simple. We're simply going to copy, take profit, right? And if anyone knows me or anyone that's part of my organization, they know that I always advise people never to do take profit 1, right? And I'll explain after. I always tell people not do take profit 1, do take profit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Right? But I always tell people not to do take profit 1 because if you do take profit 1, the minute the trade hits take profit 1, it's going to take you out of your trade, right? Some trades may catch 100 pips, like this trade last week, I caught 474 pips. This trade 100 pips, etc. That's why I always advise people do trade profit 2 onwards, right? So step 6, very simple. We're going to copy the take profit. And once again, if you're using an Android, rather than saying take profit, you're going to see MetaTrader 4 is going to have 2 green lines, right? So the take profit I'm going to do is take profit 6, which is 75.35. 75.35. Step number 7 is the simplest thing you're ever going to do to make money, right? Step number 7 is so, so simple. We're going to go back to shift, and then we're either going to buy or sell. Very simple. We're going to press buy or sell. Looking at this trade, we already know it's a buy. So we're going to go back to shift. We're going to press buy market, and we've placed our first trade, people. Right? We have placed our first trades. As you can see, I have some trades running, which I did for a reason, so I can go through and show everyone how to modify. Right? So put number 1 in the chat if you're with me so far. Put a number 1 in the chat if you're with me so far before we go on to the next stage. Right? So we have 49 people in this call. Let's have some interaction, guys. Put a number 1 in the chat if you're with me. So Hannah's put number 1. Benjamin's put number 1. Tola's put number 1. And Priory's put number 1. Deanne's put number 1. Fantastic. Right? Ucha's put number 1. Put number 1 in the chat, guys, if you're with me. I want to see every single person. Rita's with me. Alu's with me, right? I want to see every single person put a number 1 in the chat. We should have 51 ones. The reason this is so important is because now Michael's with me, Amasola's with me, Adnan's with me, William's with me, Ian's with me, Adam's with me. Fantastic. Now, guys, what we're going to do, Richard's with me, Princess is with me. Fantastic. Guys, now what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that I am completely new to the organization. So I have just joined the company. This is my first day using the company's application. And I need you guys to help me, right? I really need you guys to help me because I'm confused. I don't know how to work the application. So I need you guys to go through the 7 steps with me in the same order I did with you, right? Once again, I need you guys to help me go through the 7 easy steps of how to make money using shift the same way I went through with you, right? So guys, I'm new. What's step number 1? What is step number 1? What must I do? Ian said I just joined the call. No worries, Ian. The call is getting recorded, and I'll be able to play and send you the recording back. No worries, Ian. Adnan says identify the currency pair. Fantastic. Hannah says we have to identify the currency pair we are using. Currency pairs are the flags. I think Benjamin says the same thing. Fantastic. So step number one, very, very simple, guys. I'm going to log on to Shift, and I'm going to identify the currency pair. Very simple. And the currency pair is what, guys? What is the currency pair that I'm looking for? What is the currency pair that I am looking for? So I know we are all on the same page. Right, guys, the quicker we're able to do this part of the training, the quicker I can show you how to modify, how to take partial profits, etc. Fantastic. Princess and Benjamin say NZDJPY. Benjamin says the same thing. Totally says the same thing. Fantastic. So I know step number one, very simple. I must identify my currency pair. Fantastic. What's step number two, guys? What is step number two? Walk me through step number two, guys. Identify type of trade. Hannah, fantastic, you're on the ball. Identify the type of order. Anand, thank you. So step number two, very simple. I must identify the type of trade, right? And how do I do that? I simply look underneath the currency pair. I simply look underneath the currency pair, and that is how I'm able to identify the type of trade. Step number three, guys. Step number three. So far, you've been helpful. What is step number three? Go to MT4 and find pair. Go to quotes and we'll find the pair we are looking for. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Hannah. So Hannah says I must go. Hannah says I must go on MT4 and I must find the pair. Hannah, what do I do if I can't find the pair? What must I do if I cannot find the pair? Let me see who remembers this. What must I go? We go to the fantastic. If you cannot find the pair, on the top right-hand corner, there's a plus sign, and you click on the plus sign, you scroll down, and you are able to write whatever currency pair you're looking for. Right? Once you add it, for example, if it was looking for NSD CHF, once you add it, you click cancel, you go back, and it's always at the bottom. Right? But we know we're looking for NSD JPY. So so after I find the pair on MetaTrader 4, what do I do? Do I have to click anything? And then type what you are looking for. Fantastic, Hannah. Fantastic, Princess. So I found the pair I'm looking for. What do I do now? What do I do after I find the pair? What must I press? Come on, guys, we've got 57 people in this call and only a few people are responding back to me. What must I press? Click on the pair. Fantastic, right? Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Princess. Thank you, Tolu. I click on the pair. Once again, if you're using Android, it's going to say place new order. If you're using iPhone, it's going to say trade, right? So step number 3, once I found the pair, I click trade. Very simple. And it's going to take me onto this page. Fantastic. What is step number 4, guys? What is step number 4? Click on the pair and open. Fantastic. Hannah, fantastic. Part A and B. Part A, what is the type of trade? Fantastic. Step 4, part A, I must identify what the trade is. And the trade is a market execution, right? The trade is a market execution. And then, fantastic, Hannah. Hannah's on the ball. Part B, Hannah says, identify the lot size, right? Hannah says, identify the lot size. So part B, I must choose my lot size. And like I said, if you're using a demo, make sure you always use 0.10, which is simply £1 every time the market moves up or down, right? Guys, I have 58 people in this call and only Hannah and a few others, Awai, Bethel, Tulu, Princess, only a few people are helping communicate on this call, right? We have 58 people on this call. Let's all make sure we're being active. Let's all make sure we're interacting because this call is to help every single one of you through your time here would be using our products and services, right? Fantastic, Mikey. I like that we're actively taking notes. But now you're meant to be helping me, right? All right, cool. So now what's step 5? What's step 5, guys? Fantastic, Adnan. Step 5 is copy the stop loss. Anna says step 5, open up the trade, copy the stop loss. Fantastic, guys. What is the stop loss? What is the stop loss? Frank Princess is the same thing. Copy your stop loss from shift and paste on MT4. Guys, what is my stop loss to make sure I don't do the wrong thing? What is my stop loss? I need you guys to help me identify my stop loss. My 69.85, fantastic. Thank you, Banda. 69.85 is my stop loss. So I go from shift back to MetaTrader 4, and my stop loss is 69.85. Fantastic. And then, guys, what's step number 6? 2 more steps. What is step number 6, guys? What is step? Copy, take profit, never take profit 1. Fantastic. Copy, take profit 2 onwards. Copy, take profit. Fantastic. So I'm going to choose take profit 6. How do we determine which pip to choose? All right, Bethel. So I always tell people never do take profit 1. The reason being, if you do take profit 1, the minute the trade hits take profit 1 is going to take you out of your trade. However, if you do take profit 2 or take profit 3 or take profit 4, if the trade then hits take profit 1, it won't take you out of your trade, and you'll be able to modify, which I'm going to teach everyone next, right? So always do take profit 2 onwards. Me personally, what I always do, if I know the stop loss is 50, me personally, I always want at least double the reward for my risk, right? So me personally, I always do double. So if I know the stop loss is 50, then I'll do my take profit at take profit 3, right? Because I'm risking 50 pips to gain the 100 pips. That's how I personally do it, right? But that's just me, my preference. Everyone has their own preferences, but always do take profit 2 onwards, right? So fantastic. Step number 6, very simple. Do take profit. So I'm going to copy take profit 3, which is 71.35. 71.35. Once again, if you're using an Android, rather than it saying stop loss, you're going to see 2 red lines. And if you're using a Samsung, once again, rather than it saying take profit, you're going to see 2 green lines. Fantastic, guys. Now, what is step number 7? What is step number 7? Go back to shift and buy the market. Fantastic, Hannah. Step number 7 is buy. The reason we are buying, because the trade says buy. Very simple. If the trade was to say sell, we'll be selling. But the trade says buy, so therefore we are buying. Step number 7, press buy. Very, very simple. Right? Okay, guys. Now, I want to go through something with you guys, which is really, really important, right? So